IRS is about to send out some letters. If you haven't received one yet, you will. What are they, and what do you need to be on the lookout for? Got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, so IRS is about to send out some love letters. This is, not notices, which I usually call the IRS love letters. These are explanations about payments you receive that you then need to reconcile when you prepare your taxes this year. You've got to be on the lookout for each of these. If you have family, like if you have kids, you're probably going to get both of these. If you don't have young kids in the house, then you'll at least get the one. Let's get into it. The first is letter 6475. You don't need to know that. It's not going to be on the quiz, but it is a letter, a document that states, here's the amount of economic impact payment you received in 2021. Now, you might say, like me, wait a second, what? There was a stimulus in 2021? Feels like forever ago. I know. Yeah, it was March of 2021. That's when the latest stimulus was passed, okay? And most people got it quickly, right? They finally got their act together where it was sent out within 3-4 weeks, something like that. But guys, some people didn't receive this stimulus until even just a couple months ago, the fall of 2021. So if you received it right away, you might say, wait a second, really? Was that in 2021? I know I got a couple in 2020, but was that in 2021? Yeah, it was. And as a reminder, what those are, the stimulus, your stimmy, your helicopter money, whatever you want to call it, that's a tax credit. It's a tax credit that they paid out to you in advance based on if they thought you qualified from your previously filed tax return, your most recent filed tax return. So get this, that's a 2021 tax credit, okay? For your 2021 taxes that was paid out in March of 2021. You might not have even filed a 2020 tax return, so they were basing your eligibility on 2019. You think they did that right? Okay, so this letter that they're sending is, hey, you received an economic stimulus payment, economic impact payment of this. Now here's the thing. If when you file your 2021 taxes here in the next month or so, if you weren't supposed to be eligible for the stimulus, where your income was too much, we're not going to go through all that. I've done tons of videos on it. If your income was too much, then you don't get it, blah, 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 and it starts phasing out. If you weren't supposed to get it, okay, but you did receive it, no big deal. You don't have to pay it back. It's not going to be added back as income, I hope, right? It's possible they could announce that. I doubt it. I've joked with Kevin Korhorn here that you're already paying it back because of inflation. All this money printing has led to inflation. And so anyway, that payment didn't go as far as you wanted it to. So if you file your 2021 taxes and you shouldn't have gotten it, but you already did, no problem. Here's the issue though. You file your 2021 taxes and you should have gotten it, but you didn't. That's where there's an issue, okay? And that's what created a lot of delays, by the way, last year with tax filing is people said, hey, I calculated my taxes. I should have gotten a stimulus. I never got one. Or I got partial stimulus and I should have gotten all of it. That took the IRS way too long to process, caused millions of people to get delayed refunds. I think the same thing's going to happen. The IRS is pledging that it won't, but I have my doubts, okay? So if based on your 2021 tax return that you file, if you should have gotten one and you didn't, or you should have gotten more and you got less, that's where this letter is going to be very important. This letter is going to tell you, here's how much you got. You need to confirm, yes, I actually did get that. And your tax preparer, I know this was frustrating for some of the clients we served last year. We said, can you prove it? Like, go back and look at your bank statement and just confirm. So you need to make sure. The IRS is going to send you this letter saying, you got this in economic stimulus. You got this stimulus payment. Can you just confirm that's the amount that you got? So then when you're filing out your taxes, and you look and say, well, you should have received this, you only got this, okay, the rest of it, the amount that you should have gotten that you didn't is going to show up on as a tax credit on your tax return. You're going to want to make sure that that's done right and you get all of the stimulus that you're eligible for that you should have gotten. If you didn't get any and when you file your taxes, you're close, you could do something to make your income look a little bit lower and that would qualify you for one of these tax credits, these stimulus tax credits, then do that. Work with your CFP, do that planning to make sure you get as much stimulus as possible. Now that's the first letter. Second letter, 6419. This is for those of you that have young kids where you're getting a child tax credit. Now here's the thing, we've done tons of videos on this as well, but they took a stab last year at turning your child tax credit into your universal basic income. There's no other way to say it. That's what they've tried to do. This is a tax credit that you get for having children younger than age, it used to be 17, now it's younger than age 18. If you have young kids that are younger than age 6 and your income is below a certain threshold, then you get a higher amount of child tax credit, okay? From ages 6 to up until 18, so 6 through 17, you get a lesser amount of child tax credit. And if your income is above certain thresholds, I'm not going to go into all those details here, then you get even less. You get a reduced amount of child tax credit. The big point is, though, they started paying those credits out to you in advance, and they did it terribly. Most people that I know, they got the wrong amounts. Well, this letter that you should be getting soon, if you haven't already, is stating this is the amount of advanced child tax credit you actually received. So here's what you need to do. You need to go back and look in your bank account and say, is this the amount that I received? You're gonna get a letter from the IRS saying, here's how much you got. You need to make sure that's how much you got. And then when you file your taxes, you need to compute and say, okay, how much child tax credit should I have gotten? Here's, then minus the amount I already got, here's the remaining amount that I should be getting. I've shared a lot of times, again, this is based on all sorts of assumptions by the IRS. What if you started receiving an advanced child tax credit, but it's for a child that you're not even going to claim this year because the other parent is claiming that child this year? I mean, this is going to be disastrous. What if they were paying out this child tax credit to you based on your income while you were maybe still in grad school or something like that, but now you're in the workforce and you're making a lot of money and you're not going to qualify for any of that child tax credit? You're going to have to pay this one back. I mean, unlike the stimulus payment, you're going to have to pay this one back. Guys, this is going to be a nightmare for the IRS, okay? Don't let it be a nightmare for you. When you get these letters, double check the amounts that you actually received and then work with your CPA and CFP. They should be collaborating together to make sure that you're number one planful and capturing all opportunities to maximize these credits, maximize the stimulus. You want to look and identify what are the ways, am I close to these thresholds where I could actually do something, fund an HSA, fund an IRA, whatever, and actually receive more of these tax credits. So that's the first thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do is confirm that the amount that you received is the amount they said you received, okay? And then make sure that that's input properly on your tax return so that you still get whatever the residual amount is or your tax return is accurate. Work with your CFP. I just can't. Like 2 years ago, they shut the world down right in the middle of tax season. So that created all sorts of chaos. Last year, they changed a whole bunch of tax rules right in the middle of tax season, okay? Right now, we're already getting off to the wrong foot because the reason so many tax refunds were delayed were because of these stimulus payments, these advance payments. There's even more of that this year. So guys, do the analysis, grab these letters when you receive them. Take a look to see if that's the amount that you got and work with your CFP and your CPA to make sure you file an accurate tax return. If you don't have a CFP on your team that's helping with taxes and tax planning, then you can contact one on my team. Okay, find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with a K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.